Hi everybody, I'm here to report on yesterday's dismal draw 1-1 at Ibrox against Dundee. And if you look at the title of this report, it says Rock Bottom Rangers, and it had better be, because if we play any worse than this and get a worse result than this against a bottom six team, the manager will be gone by Christmas, if not Halloween, because this was just as bad as it gets at Ibrox. I was tempted to make the title of this show Three-Man Rangers Draw Magnificently with Dundee, because I would only give pass marks to three of the starters: the goalkeeper, Rothwell, and Gassama, who was our star man, but that's not saying much. Raskin came on and did some good things, added a bit of drive to the team, but that was it. The rest of them absolutely horrendous. So I'll stick with Rock Bottom Rangers, hoping that it really is and we don't get any worse than what we saw yesterday. The manager did the right thing at the start by playing the same team as Tuesday night. That's what I was saying he should do. Play your best team, win the game, be 2 or 3-0 up, and then half an hour to go, bring on the likes of Tavernier or Cortez or Danilo or whoever, because it wouldn't matter by then. So he actually did what I was hoping he would do. Plays the strongest team available, and they were terrible. And it was just like a flashback to the last, 4 or 5 years under about 3 different managers. The possession was too slow, too safe, no energy, no determination, no pace, just sideways passes, backwards passes, safe passes, hardly any passes going forward or creating any danger or chances. And that's what we've seen from all the managers in the last few years. And I have to laugh when they talk about this new style of play that Martin's trying to instigate, possession football. We've always had possession football. That's the problem. We possess 70-odd% of the ball, as we did yesterday. I think it was 76% possession. So we've always had the lion's share of possession, comfortable possession, but doing nothing with it too many times, just too pedestrian, and this has continued under this guy. So it's not like we just used to hoof the ball up the park and now we're having to pass it to each other. No, we've always been able to pass it to each other, but not to have an end product. That's the big problem, trying to break down a 10-man defence. In fact, yesterday, I think for the first, 10, 15 minutes, Dundee actually behaved like a proper team, modern team, especially a European team, because they had 3 forwards or midfielders pushing up when Butland was trying to pass it out of defence. So they were pushing up, pressing us. That's always dangerous. But then eventually they just ended up the same as any other team at Ibrox. 10 men in the goalkeeper, back in their own half. They let Suter and Giga get the ball from the keeper, stroll forward, and I mean stroll forward with it, looking about, right up to the halfway line. Nobody near them, because the other team were happy just to sit in their own half and dare us to pass it. And eventually it was either a pass out to the wing, if we were lucky, but more often than not, a silly pass up the middle that they could intercept or tackle the guy who was just about to get the ball. So tactics, absolutely shocking. We could play against teams like that at home every game this season, and it'd be the same end result if we don't buck up our ideas. So that was the main feeling. He couldn't really do much in terms of personnel. We didn't have Moore, Igaman, Asgard available. They hopefully would make a difference in situations like that, but they're not available yet. What's new? So anyhow, terrible performance. The fans were really annoyed. It was bad enough first half. I think we had 2 shots at goal or something. They hit the post with a header, which thankfully bounced back, and Butland was able just to grab the ball before the Dundee guy put it into the net. Then they had another header that hit off the same post, but when you saw it on TV later, the guy was miles offside, so it wouldn't have stood anyhow. But worrying that they did get 2 free headers in and almost scored. So first half, absolutely nothing happening. Second half, we thought The manager's had a few words with him. First 5 minutes, we actually got behind him a few times, especially Gassama. I think it was was it Ant-Man, I think, that actually had a shot at goal. No, it was Diamande the first time. A kind of tame shot at goal, right at the goalkeeper. Later on, Ant-Man did the same thing. Decent enough chance, and his shot was weak, tame, straight at the goalkeeper. They were 2 of the 5 shots on target. Imagine at Ibrox against a bottom 6 team, and with, I think, 20 shots at goal, 5 on target. Same as last week at Fir Park, 5 on target, which I said last week was a disgrace in any game. If we were playing the best team in Europe at Ibrox, we'd expect to have more than 5 shots on target. So that sums it all up, despite the 76% possession. So we had a nice spell, 5-6 minutes, and then they score. So free kick, as we were watching it lined up across the 18-yard line, they had 3 men with only Shefty in amongst them, sort of guarding them. Where was the organisation in the defence? 3 guys at the back of the 18-yard line, only one of our guys marking them. So when the in-swinging free kick came in and they all moved, Shefty was the only one marking number 1, 2 and 3. The ball was headed first of all by number 2, so he cleverly headed it into the middle of the box. And then number 1 Dundee player, he floated a lovely header over Butland and into the far corner. I don't know if the goalkeeper could have saved it. It looked as if it was just a well-placed header. But Diamande was sort of practically cowering underneath the guy that headed it into the net. Didn't even jump, didn't even try and harass him. That sums it up. He should never have been playing yesterday anyhow. So all of a sudden they're 1-0 up. It's looking bad. Got even worse just after that when Giga, who was okay yesterday until he got sent off, he was sent off because a through ball up the middle, caught him napping, he chases it, the Dundee guy chases it, and what I couldn't understand at the time was Giga is between the ball and the Dundee guy, and then the Dundee guy's fouled. And when you saw it on TV, he cleverly just ran across Giga. He could have slid in or whatever, but no, the Dundee guy ran across him and obviously gets clipped. Unintentional, but it's definitely a foul, unintentional or not, and a red card because although he was 40 yards from goal, it was deemed a goal scoring opportunity. So that was us really in trouble. 10 men, 1-0 down, playing terribly. Let's see what happens. And it got worse because the manager made 2 substitutions. Raskin came on and he made a big difference, I would say, driving us on a wee bit more. And, well, Rothwell went off. He was, I would have said, our second best player on the day, our best midfield man. He would at least take a pass, turn and face the opposition, go forward a bit, and then try a 10, 20-yard pass forward, either to the wings or straight up the middle to somebody. The only guy who seemed to want to actually pass the ball forward, and he comes off and Raskin comes on. Seconds later it got worse because who substituted? Donkey Dud Dowell comes on and the fans actually started booing, and I must admit I joined them. If that's the only way we can tell this manager he's making a big mistake playing this dud, well, it'll happen every game until he gets the message. The next step is, if Dowell plays, he'll get booed every time he touches the ball because he's just absolutely useless. Firing hopeless, hopeful crosses into the box, that's all he did. Apart from his trademark 4-yard pass back the way. So for him to come on in such a situation was just ridiculous, and the fans let the manager know it. So I hope he heard them and he takes due note of it. So anyhow, we got better as the game went on, and at least we got more threatening. Gassama started to get some passes up the wing. That was the trouble the whole game. Gassama and Ant-Man weren't getting passes in front of them, letting them run at the defence. They were getting them to their feet, and they were surrounded by 2-3 guys, and they had to try and get by them from a standstill. So late on, Gassama started getting some passes. Raskin did a lovely one inside the fullback. He ran onto it, got in front of the fullback, tangle of legs, definitely bundled down, penalty kick. Tavernier did the one thing that he did well in the game after he came on, and that was slotting it away to savour Bacon with a 1-each draw. 2-3 minutes later, Drossers actually scores offside. Of course it was. He was 2-3 feet offside, so it was never going to stand. And that was his contribution to the game. He was back to his usual useless self, bouncing off defenders, not challenging them, unable to jump for the ball bouncing off him. Never got a shot at goal, I don't think. So back to normal. Let's hope the whole performance isn't back to normal, because if it is, we really are in trouble this season.